And hello everybody, Terrible Shoes back again, and for today's video, we're visiting another Aliexpress Wizards of the Coast bootleg pack art set, and today we are hitting Team Rocket. I loved this set when I was younger, and I was actually really excited to try this one out as well. I'm not entirely sure what order I'm going to upload these sets in, but I have so far I've done the original Big Three, Base, Fossil, Jungle. I've done Neo Destinies. I might upload Neo Destinies after this one. I'm not entirely sure. But I will say this. Team Rocket was a favorite set of mine growing up, and I'm very excited to see how these bootlegs are going to look compared to some of the original cards. So one thing I can say right away is that this one, the packs fell a little flat when it came to looking a little authentic. It's very hard to explain, but for some reason the pack artwork, and while it's gonna look as though my camera is making this a little blurry, that is actually just the artwork on the packs. For some reason they seem to have really messed this particular set up, in which right away the colors are a lot darker and a little more washed out than the original Wizards of the Coast Team Rocket booster packs were. So that is a big giveaway that these are counterfeits. So right through the bat, I was seeing a little bit of a weird quality dip compared to the other ones, where despite the finish on the packs looking a little off, they were relatively close to their original designs, at least look-wise, so you might be tricked into it if you're not a big TCG guy or girl. And basically, this is the first one where right through the gate, I knew these were bootlegs. That's very... I guess that's a good thing, really. And also another thing I'd like to address, that was my dog sneezing if the mic caught it. Another thing I'd like to address is if you want to use these as proxies, that's fine, but they should be clearly labeled as proxies, because these are not being created as proxies, as many people try to claim. These are being created as counterfeits to trick official, any official collectors or anything out there. So that is that. These are not being sold as proxies, despite what people try to claim. They are counterfeits, and they are meant to trick the consumer. So let's get right into the opening today. If you can do me a favor of liking and subscribing, that would help me out a ton. So once again, we have all of our official text on the back here. These are, despite the color washout, the pack quality is still very high, and these are some of the highest quality bootlegs I have ever seen. This entire set has been so far. These are packed very tightly, so they can be a bit tricky to open sometimes. And there we go. And now let's get right into these. Okay, so right like our other ones, you can see these imitate an official cards backing very well. Color-wise, these are very spot on to the originals, and that is a little bit of a scary thing when you think about it, but they make for a good like cube play or proxy play. But again, these, unfortunately, I hate to say this, could be passed off as official quite easily, and you're going to see that we have got, from our first pack, some weird lighting issue going on here. We've got Vaporeon, Dark Wartortle, Magikarp, Abra, Porygon, that last one, Charmander, Eradicate, and okay, so that is interesting. I mentioned this in previous ones. These bootlegs did not have proper hollow foiling. They had almost like a very faint one where you can see some sparkle, but very little. And in these last two, Neo Destiny and Rocket, we see a huge improvement here, in which we finally see proper hollow foiling on these proxies or bootlegs, whatever you'd like to call them. And that is really interesting. They all have this weird matte finish to them. But like I've been saying, these particular type of cards, and of course we pulled Dark Charizard, this is a really big one. However, something that my camera doesn't really pick up particularly well is that the printing on the hollows compared to the other cards seems to have this weird inking issue where it becomes a little blurrier and a little lighter on the rest of the card. Again, my camera can't pick it up properly for some reason, and that goes for both sides too. Because even if it was a back camera, it still has a weird issue picking it up. But there's just a very faint inking issue with the hollows. I think it might be probably because of the cardstock being used to print them. All right, so let's go into our next one. We've got this pack art next. And, okay, we're starting off with some rares and some rares. We don't really... Okay, so we got a little fake god pack here. We've got nothing but non-hollow rares, and we will get our hollow rare, which of course would be the secret Dark Raichu. I actually have an official, and another Dark Charizard as well. This one non-hollow. Obviously, all rares, which is interesting. So again, we have a rather decent looking Dark Raichu. Again, you can tell it's fake, but it's starting to blur the line between real and fake. These bootlegs are getting incredibly good. So something that I also want to mention here, you've probably heard me say this in other videos involving similar types of cards, is that these were, at least for a while, attempting to mimic real packs, where your commons, uncommons, and everything, and then you'd only get a rare or hollow in it. They seem to have gone the route most regular bootlegs do now, where you will get a pack with all rares in it, and that was something that it's something I'm not like a big fan of. I feel like for such a high quality bootleg, that's such an amateur mistake to make, because that would be a dead giveaway that the product is fake. But let's keep going. We're on to our third pack. We've got Raticate, Diglett, Dratini, Drowsy, Eevee, Ekans, Grimer, Dugtrio. Again, very nice hollowing on the bootleg. And then some trainers. Very nice. Okay, drop some cards down here and pick those up. And again, these, minus the actual pack art itself, these bootlegs are looking relatively good. And I'm very surprised to say that. I bought these off Aliexpress, and I've mentioned this as well. The price of these types of bootlegs has been going up significantly. This set cost me about 15 bucks. Neo Destiny ran me a little over 20, which I think is crazy for fake cards. But again, these are much higher quality fakes, and they are on a mission to trick people. They sell full booster boxes of these, and one day we will open a full booster box of fake, not the funny ones we've been opening. I am going to open a legitimate fake booster box of Wizards of the Coast base set one day. Hopefully after we're monetized, though, because they're very expensive, even for being fake. So here's our last pack here. We've got Wartortle, Magikarp, Porygon. This is like very similar to what we've already gotten. Okay, we got Magneton again, and then Arbok. So, okay, so we just tossed some rares at the end. Again, they got a little sloppy with what comes in these packs. They're looking a lot less official than their previous counterparts, but I don't know. That's really it. All in all, these are great for proxy play, like I've said. I don't know if I'd recommend buying these for how expensive they are. If they were the original starting price point, where it was $8 for 3 packs, then I can kind of be like, okay, if you're looking to build a little cube for people, just your friends to play with, maybe to go to your local game store and play Classic, understandable. But when we start getting into like 20 bucks for 4 fake packs, that's a little ridiculous. And I don't care how quality the bootleg is, it is still a bootleg. And I don't care what people say. You can call it a proxy, whatever you want. It is still a bootleg. It is a fake. It is a counterfeit. It is meant to trick people into buying it over the real product, thinking they're getting a deal. And there is something very immoral about that. And I think it's even worse that they're charging as much money as they are, and the prices on these seem to be going nowhere but up. So that's that. very high quality bootleg, but unfortunately comes with a very high quality price. And I I don't like the concept of a pricey bootleg. I think that's kind of gross and weird and predatory, and that's really just me. Um, Whatever. Let me know what you think down below. Anyway, those are our 4 Team Rocket bootleg packs. Wizards of the Coast bootlegs. Got them off Aliexpress, like 15 bucks. Let me know what you think down below. Have you gotten any of these yourself? Do you use any of these for like a cube play or for like proxy play, anything like that? And if you could please hit the like button, the subscribe button. It supports me a ton. There have been tons of new subscribers on the channel, and I really appreciate you all coming in. It means the world to me that you watch my videos, and it just makes you feel nice, you know? That's really about it. Anyway, thank you for checking me out today. I'm Terrible Shoes, and I'll see you in the next one.